On day 21 of the ongoing war, Iran shocks Israel by firing as many as 5 missile salvos in just 1 hour, causing widespread panic and destruction. A scary video emerges on social media, showing the impact of a burning fragment in the key Israeli city of Haifa, leaving witnesses horrified. Subsequently, Israeli authorities admitted that a missile had struck the strategic oil refinery in Haifa, further heightening tensions. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps confirms launching missile wave number 66 at Israel and U.S. targets as the conflict hits its 4th week. Iran claims to have used super-heavy, precision-guided, multiple warhead missiles for successful attacks on enemies in the latest salvo. Iran launched at least 5 powerful missile salvos at Israel within the span of just 1 hour during the night of March 19th to 20th, dramatically intensifying the already raging conflict. Frightening footage from the attacks showed a burning missile fragment crashing down in the northern port city of Haifa, sending residents scrambling for cover as air defenses fired overhead. An Iranian missile also struck a key oil refinery complex in Haifa, though Israeli officials later said the impact caused no significant damage to main facilities and pipelines. The latest barrage reportedly involved missiles fitted with cluster warheads, which break apart in flight into many smaller bomblets designed to spread destruction over a wider area, while making interception difficult. These attacks, carried out on day 21 of the war, were detailed by the Times of Israel, which tracked multiple launches and impacts across central and northern parts of the country. Israeli authorities said the 5 near back-to-back attacks within 1 hour targeted Jerusalem as well as northern regions, forcing millions once again into shelters. At the same time, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed it had reached the 66th wave of its ongoing Operation True Promise 4, boasting of relentless retaliatory strikes. The IRGC said it had successfully hit Israeli cities, including Tel Aviv, and U.S. bases in the region, framing the campaign as punishment for what it calls American Zionist aggression. According to Iran's state-aligned Press TV, the latest waves employed super-heavy, precision-guided, multi-warhead missiles, suggesting large payloads and complex terminal effects. IRGC said it used a combination of solid and liquid fuel missile systems, including super-heavy, precision-guided, multi-warhead Qadr missiles. It also used the Karam Shar and Khaybar Shikin missiles, as well as the medium-range Qayyam projectile. Zulfikar missiles and attack drones were also part of the salvo. IRGC claimed to have struck targets in Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Haifa, Beersheba, and the Negev Desert. U.S. outposts in Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia were also targeted. This fresh round of missile fire came just a day after a major escalation in the war, involving strike and counterstrike on critical oil and gas infrastructure across the Middle East. Israel first hit Iran's South Pars gas field in what analysts described as a major expansion of the target set, prompting a furious response from Tehran. In retaliation, Iran targeted Ras Laffan Industrial City in Qatar, the world's largest liquefied natural gas hub, striking at the heart of global energy supplies. Tehran also launched attacks on energy infrastructure in other Arab states, including facilities in Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Kuwait, causing serious disruption and chaos in key export corridors. The U.S. president publicly criticized Israel for striking South Pars, warning that such hits on upstream energy assets risk dragging more countries into the conflict, even as he also cautioned Iran against further attacks on Gulf energy sites. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claimed that Iran no longer has meaningful uranium enrichment capacity, insisting that Israel's and America's strikes have severely degraded Tehran's nuclear infrastructure.
First of all, I just want to say, I'm alive, and you're all witnesses.
We are acting now, not only to destroy the ballistic missiles and the remaining nuclear programs, very little remains, but also to destroy the industries that enable the production of these programs. And already now, after 20 days, I can tell you, Iran today has no ability to enrich uranium, and it has no ability to produce ballistic missiles. We are continuing to dismantle these capabilities. We will crush them completely, down to dust. It is too early to say whether the Iranian people will take advantage of the conditions we are creating for them to go out into the streets. I hope that will be the case. We are acting so that it will be, but in the end it will depend only on them.
I think the question is, will the conditions be created for such a change? I think it's too early to say. And I think in the final account, as I said, it's up to the Iranian people to show that, to choose the moment and to rise to the moment. We can create the conditions, but they have to, they have to explode those conditions at a certain point. It is often said that you can't do revolutions from the air. That is true. You can't do it only from the air. You can do a lot of things from the air, and we're doing, but there has to be a ground component as well. There are many possibilities for this ground component, and I take the liberty of not sharing with you all those possibilities. I think that what has to be done is to have alternative routes. Instead of going through the choke points of the Hormuz Straits and the Bab el-Mandeb Straits, in order to have the flow of oil, just have oil pipelines, gas pipelines, going west through the Arabian Peninsula, right up to Israel, right up to our Mediterranean ports, and you've just done away with the choke points for forever. That is definitely possible. So I see that as a real change that will follow this war. But I also see this war ending a lot faster than people think. Well, I'll say two things. Fact number one, Israel acted alone against the Slawiya gas compound. Fact number two, President Trump asked us to hold off on future attacks, and we're holding out. And I want to close these opening remarks with one other fake news, and that is that Israel somehow dragged the U.S. into a conflict with Iran. Does anyone really think that someone can tell President Trump what to do? Come on.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.